What's up, everybody? I'm Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw. Yeah! And we're gonna take you to a what if. What if the Punisher killed the Marvel Universe? Yes, Frank Castle himself decides to take a hit out on the entire Marvel Universe. How is he gonna punish them? And more importantly, why is he punishing them? Well, let's jump into this. This is back when Frank Castle was young. He's kind of standing up for, the average kid doing what he does. And this is actually Micro in this universe. Anyways, there's a big fight going on in a park in Hell's Kitchen. Of course, Frank Castle's on the job. He's actually heading that way right now. Now, this is actually when Frank Castle was a cop and a Marine. He was doing his thing. He kind of left the Corps and he kind of went back into the police force, stuff like that. Anyways, there was a huge fight in Hell's Kitchen. And there were a few casualties. And Daredevil was trying to remind him of that, how messed up it was. And of course, this is where Frank Castle finds out that it was Cyclops that accidentally shot his family. And Frank Castle pulls out that pistol and he kills his ass. I mean, he doesn't even wait. He blows him away quick. And he starts firing at the other people, and Wolverine gives him a savage slash across the face. I mean, just straight up shink. Anyways, Colossus pulls him off. And this is where Daredevil realizes that there's been wrongs on all sides. And he comes to him as Matt Murdock. And keep in mind, and this is important, Punisher has no idea who this man is. Punisher, of course, gets sent to prison, even though he has a stellar military record. Sorry about that. Yeah, he's a surgeon with a shotgun, now with a PhD. Moving on. He does get sent to this rich man's house. He actually pulls the strings, for the prison to get him out. And this is where you learn the truth. That these people are a superhero, supervillain revenge squad. These are all victims, or basically collateral damage. Victims that range from being a Wolverine's victim, Magneto's victim. These are just people that got messed up by the superheroes and the villains in the middle of their conflict. So they decided to do something about it. And these people have a lot of power. They have a lot of influence. And they have one of the biggest superpowers of all time that I keep saying. The dollar bill. Yes. The power of money. And their money has bought Frank Castle freedom. So he could wreak havoc upon the Marvel Universe. And of course, Spider-Man and Venom are doing their thing. Spidey's trying to catch Venom, the basic runaround. And boom, they are shot with taser weaponry. And it does knock Spider-Man out. And I just love this. Why? Why me? And just the Punisher just looks at him, well, somebody has to be first. And he just walks off. I mean, this is a different Punisher. This is more of a murderous bastard. And you're going to find out as we go on with this. Look at that, man. No mercy at all. Of course, they brought his friend in, Micro, and he's the guy who kind of does all the computer work, the tapping, the hacking, all the tech stuff, And Punisher goes out there and just, does what he does. They make a great team. He's the man in the chair. Anyways, there's Hulk. And yeah, this is interesting. Now keep in mind, this is before all the Immortal Hulks and all that other stuff. This is early in his career when his powers were still being defined. So I want to kind of throw that out there right now. Because the Punisher did come in the 70s. So you got to kind of look at the timeline. So he's able to track Banner down. And right when he turns human, he just blows him away. And you have to admit, this is a smart move by Frank. Catching him by surprise. And he decides that he's going to take someone else out. Since he just took out the Hulk, I mean, why not take out the Kingpin? Seems like a logical step in knowledge, but let's just see how this happens. He comes in, and yeah, Frank has experience. Like I said, he has a certain amount of knowledge, but the Kingpin is military trained. He knows sumo, he knows this and that, and plus he has super strength. But Frank Castle has 2 guns, just starts shooting him. And of course, this is how strong the Kingpin is. And he keeps telling him he's a dead man, and he pulls that pistol out and blam! Man. Frank Castle is just the angel of death in this one. He doesn't care who he takes. And look at those slash marks Wolverine left him. Of course, Matt is his attorney at the trial. They send him for life in another prison. They get him out. So yeah, this time he says he got some gadgets from Kingpin. And he found a way to speed things up. So yeah, the Fantastic Four is doing their thing. Frank drops in behind them and tries to attack Doom. Basically, he was using the Fantastic Four as a ride. And yeah, Doom comes in, he gets this metal disc. And this is smart, why Doom was talking shit. He just puts this disc on him and boom. His face is melted. It's not broken yet, but I love how Castle just gets a sledgehammer and he just goes to work. I mean, he is just pounding his face in. And this is where he finds it. He finds himself a nuke. Man, this is an unstable Punisher as there is. And you're going to give this man a nuke? You're going to give this man a nuke. Anyways, Magneto and, Juggernaut, Apocalypse, Sinister, Sauron, all the biggies all show up for this fight and what's left of the X-Men. And yeah, they both kind of got challenged on the moon. They both answered. They never talked to each other, but they all showed up. And a nuke just pops out of nowhere. And before Magneto could do anything, it just blows up. Man. And of course, Wolverine's getting sloshed. That's kind of what Wolverine does. Now, Wolverine has been chasing basically shadows in Japan. This is what Punisher's saying. He had him doing this because he wanted to save him for himself. And Wolverine is just beside himself. He's drunk. Just keep that in mind. Punisher stabs him in the throat. It takes him a while to recover. And Punisher just starts beating Wolverine down. Of course, Wolverine has his healing factor. He pulls out his claws. He starts slashing at him. But Punisher lures him in, kicks him through a gate. Now, you got to admit, Frank is a strategist. He does know his way around certain fighting. He does take certain opportunities. Wolverine does stab his hand. But Frank decides to stab Wolverine with his own claws. And like I said, Punisher is just savage in this. He picks up Wolverine and throws him into a transmitter, it looks like. Actually, a generator. And he just melts away. Now, like I said, this is an alternate universe. His healing factor might be off. So you got to take it as it is. Anyways, these guys are all happy that, Punisher went on his murder spree. And you can see some of the people he's killed right there. And the interesting thing about this is that he was killing villains and humans. And now, there's really no one left to kill. Punisher's been taking them out little by little. And this is where he tells Matt there's no going back for him. He's not going to stop. He's never going to stop. Not until his mission is complete. And this is where Matt loses a little hope in the man that he supported for so long. But now he's battling Captain America. And Captain America is well trained. He knows how to fight. But the Punisher knows his opponents. And Captain America underestimates him. He poisons Cap. He paralyzes him. And while he's stuck there, he shoots the Man of Honor in the side of the head. Which shows the Punisher has just fallen that far. He has fallen into the abyss. And there's no way for him to get out. But still, he's terminated all of them except Daredevil. And they say that he has to be terminated himself. Or work for them, because the Punisher's leaving. This is his last one. And this idiot dares to pull a pistol on him. I mean, this guy has been his benefactor, but he has to know his role. And the Punisher just blows him away and tells him, this is my last one. And if you come for me, I'm going to wipe you all out. That's who Punisher is now. And of course, Micro's wondering what they're going to do, maybe get a life. But now he's worried about Daredevil. And the fight is on. And of course the Punisher tries to let him have it. Lets him try to have it with an Uzi, man. Oh, that takes you back to the 80s. Anyways, they get into their conflict. And Matt is just a superior fighter. And he's just beating the hell out of Punisher. And I think Punisher wanted this to be more of an even fight, since this is his last one. But yeah, he's just getting his ass kicked. He's getting it handed to him. And Daredevil is just beating the ever-loving hell out of him. And Daredevil still reaches out. He still tries to show mercy and compassion. But Punisher is just not that way. Not for what they did to his family. So what, in his mind, He murdered all those superheroes. They still murdered his family. And he wants someone to be punished. He wants all of them to be punished. And he stabs Daredevil in the chest. And as he lays there dying, Daredevil pulls off his mask, and his only friend, Matt, he killed his only friend, not knowing he was Daredevil. And the Punisher says, just one more. Just one more left to be punished. As he puts the gun to his chin. And he shoots himself. And as always, I'll catch you on the flip side. Yeah.